Today I'm going to share a book with you entitled Three Times Lucky by Sheila Turnage. The genre is realistic fiction, mystery. The two reasons I chose this book, first of all, my 10-year-old daughter came home from school and told me she checked a book out for me to read, and so it caught my interest. I have to say, if I saw the front of this book, I don't know if I would have been drawn to it. I don't know why. I guess I'd probably look for something a little more ooey-gooey. But it really turned out to be an amazing book. Another reason why I chose this book was Newbery. It was a Newbery Honor book. So, the story takes place in a small water town named Tupelo Landing in North Carolina, where there's no internet or cell service, and the greatest form of entertainment is visiting the local diner 3 times a day. The story begins with the introduction of Detective Joe Starr from Winston-Salem, who stumbles into the town around the same time a murder of one of the small-town residents named Mr. Jess takes place. Miss Moses LeBeau, Mo for short, is the narrator of the story. She's a 6th-grade girl that lives with the Colonel and Miss Lana. Now, you'll probably already have some questions about how did this little girl LeBeau just end up living with the Colonel and Miss Lana? Well, I'm going to read a little excerpt for you on page 29 and I'll explain that to you. I was born 11 years ago during one of the meanest hurricanes in history. That night as people slept, they say the rivers rose like a mutiny and pushed ashore, shouldering houses off foundations, lifting the dead from graves, gulping down lives like fresh-shucked oysters. Some say I was born unlucky that night. Not me. I say I was 3 times lucky. Lucky once when my upstream mother tied me to a makeshift raft and sent me swirling downstream to safety. Lucky twice when the Colonel crashed his car and stumbled to the creek just in time to snatch me from the flood. Lucky 3 times when Miss Lana took me in like I was her own and kept me. So the 3 of them just ended up with each other. They run the local cafe that most, if not all, the town visits for breakfast, lunch, and supper. The Colonel and Miss Lana come and go as they please, but promise to never be gone for more than 3 days. They are not your typical family, but by the end of the book, you see that love never really is typical. The best part of about this book is the personality of the characters. I mean, it has a great storyline. It would make a wonderful book, but the characters' personalities are just awesome. You can't get a better motley crew, from the military anti-authority figure Colonel to the just crazy go big or go home Miss Lana, and last but not least, never let them see you cry, Mo. And to explain a little bit about why I refer to her as never let them see you cry, Mo. Later on in the book, this is still page 47, she explains, for me it was a gold star day. I'd identified my enemy, and I'd made a life decision. I might come home tore up from fighting or late from being punished, but I'd never come home crying. And so far, I ain't. And that just tells you her strong will, her determination. She's just a fighter. She was a fighter from the day she was put on that board and sent down the river to this day when she's looking for the answers to her murder mystery. So I just hope that you get a chance to read this book. I really believe that everybody will be very pleased with it. It's just got so much to offer. It's not just for kids. In fact, I contacted one of my fellow teachers that's not in good health that I know is at home, and I know she loves to read children's books because she was a 4th grade teacher. And so I contacted her and I gave her this name, and if at possible, I'm going to run it over to her house one day to read as well. So I just think everybody will enjoy it. There's a lot of surprises, a lot of things that you would not expect. And then a lot of things that we can relate to. I know the background knowledge of a rural town, I can completely relate, where I grew up with no cable, and in a lot of parts of our area, we did not have cell service. So I guess I saw a lot of the personalities in this book kind of in people that I know as well. So I hope you enjoy reading this book, and thank you.